Banks have had one job for 3 centuries. They sit exactly between you and your money. They operate as a mandatory gatekeeper. Banks profit from your deposits in 3 ways. First, charging custody fees. Second, fractional reserve lending, lending your money for profit. Third, float income. They use your cash between deposit and final settlement to generate returns. Money placed inside these walls is an IOU. The institution controls that money. They have the power to freeze or deny your access. Technology now exists that uncouples the middleman from the transaction. Immutable code is replacing legacy human institutions. This is decentralized finance, or DeFi, a peer-to-peer ecosystem of financial services. It runs on blockchain networks. Global financial services are available to anyone. You do not need a credit check or a bank account. You do not need permission. The engine of this system is the smart contract. This is self-executing code living on a blockchain. It automatically enforces the terms of an agreement. Automated execution eliminates the need for human employees. This removes the opportunity for institutional discrimination. It removes the possibility of manual manipulation. Access to your assets requires a private key. This is a cryptographic string of code. It grants you exclusive access to your assets. You secure this key completely offline. You use a physical hardware wallet. This device acts as your personal vault. This creates a new foundational rule. Whoever holds the cryptographic keys possesses the actual money. This chart compares yields. Traditional savings accounts offer historically low returns. DeFi stable lending protocols generate more. They offer 4 to 8% annual percentage yields. Traditional bank accounts extract recurring monthly custody fees. Decentralized systems charge $0 to hold your assets. Traditional bank balance sheets often hide risk. Blockchain ledgers are public. They provide a continuous stream of verifiable data. The incumbent system is technologically inferior. It offers a mathematically worse product for the end user. This line shows the total value locked in DeFi protocols. It grew from $1 billion in 2019. By 2026, it reached $250 billion. The ecosystem survived the 2022 market crash. It survived a harsh crypto winter. It survived intense regulatory crackdowns and continued to grow. Samuel Bankman-Fried misused $8 billion of customer funds. This was a failure of a centralized institution. It was distinct from the automated protocols it pretended to represent. While centralized entities collapsed, true DeFi protocols executed flawlessly. The underlying code continued operating exactly as intended. No human intervention was required. Market panic caused centralized entities to stop functioning. During that same period, automated protocols continued to execute transactions exactly as they were designed. The banking system responded by lobbying governments. They want to classify decentralized protocols under restrictive regulations. Look at the media focus on decentralized hacks. Now compare that to the 2008 crash. By highlighting external risks, banks attempt to control the story. Their final weapon is the central bank digital currency, the CBDC. These tactics prove the threat. Banks cannot out-innovate the mathematics of DeFi. They must try to legislate it out of existence. Central bank digital currencies look and function like crypto, but they are built on a foundation of total government surveillance. The danger is the programming. The government can instantly freeze accounts. They can dictate spending categories. They can enforce currency expiration dates. True financial sovereignty requires rigorous self-education. You must master hardware wallets. You must refuse to invest blindly. Traditional banks are not fighting a flawed experiment. They are fighting a system that makes them completely obsolete.